Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How was the lunch? Are you guys feeling sleepy? No or yes? So it's half no and half yes. So if you are feeling sleepy, Supan did a good job of having a good lunch. If you are not feeling sleepy, then you are excited to hear my talk. Am I right? Okay, I request every one of you to stand up for a quick second. Take a deep breath in. Release. Now you may take your seats. So for the next 7.5 minutes, I want your attention on the screen or on me if I look handsome, that's fine. And not on your mobile phones. Because what you are going to get today is something which will transform the way you think for the next 10 years. Welcome everyone. What if I told you that the future of healthcare is not about 1,000 crore idea? Think about it. What if the future of healthcare is about 1,000 micro ideas which builds off of each other and becomes the next Pegasus? My name is Neel Mehta. I am biomedical informaticist and healthcare futurist. Who wants to become an engineer here? Who wants to become a manager? Who wants to become a doctor? Who wants to become a dreamer? Cool. So, we all are gathered in this room because we believe in innovation. We eat, sleep, breathe breakthroughs in technology. We are pioneers that are producing better outcomes for our clients, for our stakeholders, for our customers, or for our patients, right? What are you doing today which is different than yesterday? You know, while growing up, my Indian parents only gave me two options, either to become an engineer or to become a doctor. Fast forward 30 years later, I'm neither an engineer nor a doctor. Well, I am a combination of both, an engineer by training and a bioinformaticist by practice. Since 2011, I went to US to study abroad, and in 2019, I came back. In the last 8 years, what I observed that India has become one of the fastest growing economies in the world. India has a rising level of middle class population like never before. It is believed, according to a recent study, that by 2022, India will have the highest middle class population. This middle class population is not going away. And you know, for any country to grow and prosper, a healthy population, a healthy lives is the backbone of a significant growth in economy. And that can be possible, but it comes with the unique challenges because of this exponential growth. The unique challenge is how we can provide a good quality and effective healthcare to our people. What can we do to reach to the masses? To the 600 million middle class people we have in the nation. And I know a couple of us are here in this room as well, including myself. So that changes the way we see healthcare. You know, when you compare India to US, let's take for example epilepsy. I worked in epilepsy for 4 years. One neurologist for every 100 people are present in the US. Whereas in India, 1 in 10,000 people are being seen by neurologists in India. So the ratio is quite disproportionate. How can one person see 10,000 people in less than 365 days? So there is a problem. And to overcome this problem, we have to look outside. We have to look what can we do to solve this problem. And for that, technology is a solution. Technology is changing the way we communicate with people. Technological solutions are becoming integrated into our day-to-day life. Take, for example, your smartphone. Take an example, your laptop. Those are the ways through which we are changing the way we do banking, the way we do education, the way we do different things, but not healthcare yet. So the way we can do is that let's use the relevant technological solutions which we have, such as messaging apps, emails, which are taking place at lightning speed across the nation, and transform the way that can be applied and inculcated into healthcare solutions. But the challenge is that healthcare still lags far behind the communication revolution in the form of the patient care, in the form of the care we can provide to our 1.3 billion people today. And the way we can solve this is, think about this for an example. We have Uber in the US, and now in India we have Ola. How many of you use Ola every day, right? We have Amazon in the US, and for Indian people, we have Flipkart. We have Postmates in the US, and now everyone is on Zomato, right? But what about healthcare? Google, Facebook, Microsoft is looking for the next 1,000 crore business model to shape and transform the lives of 300 million people in the nation. But in India, we don't have any 1,000 crore business idea in healthcare. So rather than looking for a one big idea, let's focus on small 1,000 micro ideas which can piggyback off of each other to really transform the way we provide care to our people. And that is doable. Simply replicating the ideas which have worked in US might not work in India. Upon exhaustive research, I came across that there were some startups in India which tried to replicate the same models for healthcare, but they failed miserably. Why? Because they failed to inculcate the complexities and challenges which the human healthcare, the Indian healthcare, presented them with. So long story short, what is the solution for this? Again, it comes back to technology. Think about the ways through which you can, change the way the doctor is seeing the patient, the way pharmaceutical company is providing a drug and a solution to us as patients. And that can be possible through different implementation of 1,000 micro ideas which can bring about a significant change in our lives. So the framework of the Western can be evolved to fit the context of the Eastern. Do you agree? So for that, what we have to do is we have to look into different startups which are imbibing and which are nimble in the growth phases in our nation. So I did another research in our country, and I found out that there are a few startups which might not look big. Those are 10 to 100 crore startups, right? But they are making difference in the way the healthcare is delivered. For example, Procter for telemedicine, Health Alliance for remote monitoring healthcare, and 1mg for pharmacy, and so on. Like that, there are over 300 startups blossoming at different corners of our country. And that's what is exciting. And I know many of you believe in, right? So the future of healthcare is not only about 1,000 business model or a 1,000 crore business idea. It's about small ideas coming together to make a difference in our lives. We simply need to make efforts to solve the problems. Human beings like innovation. We are made for change, unlike other organisms who rely on evolution to make a difference in their lives. So that can only be possible while we look outside, while we look in a different way. We don't have to be a doctor. We don't have to be an engineer. We don't have to be a scientist. What we rather should be is a fusion. We have to become a fusion. I have become a fusion. I'm a biomedical informaticist by training and healthcare futurist by practice, where I've gone to an engineering school and done my science after that. And you too can now. If you are in the management, as I talked to most of you this afternoon, you can also look into how the management solutions can be applied into healthcare. If you are an engineer or if you are a dreamer, then also you can look into how those ideas, which can be small at first, but can make a massive difference in our communities, in our neighborhoods, at the places where we live. And healthcare is not different. Healthcare is one of the problems which we all need to tackle, because I know most of us have been to a hospital. Most of us have been to a hospital for our near and dear ones, or most of us have been to the hospital for our friends, colleagues, or business partners. So we are tied to that healthcare ecosystem if we believe it actively or if we are not aware passively. And that can only take place if there is proper implementation and adoption in the Indian healthcare ecosystem. That is not going away, but it presents you with a significant problem. How can we solve that? So far, to date, engineers only talk to other engineers, right? Doctors only went out for dinners with other fellow doctors. All of you, the management students, are only staying in the group of other fellow management students. But that has to break. The silos need to go away. And we all have to become a fusion. So the only way we can do this is that through technology, because the technology of today will not fulfill the demands of tomorrow. And we have to look in a way that how that is made possible. So to conclude my presentation over here, you can say that I'll leave you with a question. In fact, it's a challenge. Are you going to be set in your own ways as to what you are today? Or are you going to be invited into a difficult task of culture change or healthcare change, which is difficult at first, but it can make a massive transformation into our day-to-day lives? So, I'm Neel Mehta. I'm biomedical informaticist and healthcare futurist. I want to thank you for all of you being present today, and I look forward to meeting many of you through the rest of the conference. Thank you.